welcome to the tutorial on how to complete your medical portal for East Stroudsburg University Intercollegiate Athletics. This video will guide both new and returning student athletes through our athlete medical portal, Blue Ocean. If you are viewing this tutorial, you should have received an email from your athletic trainer with this instructional manual, which explains each step that I'm about to go through. Prior to beginning the portal tutorial, I want to preface with the change to paperwork this year has been that the NCAA has mandated sickle cell testing. Most of you are tested at birth and can obtain your results by following the link provided in this instructional manual. The link will bring you to the following document that outlines steps you need to take in order to obtain your results based on the state you were born. Please follow the steps in this instructional sickle cell testing informational sheet to obtain your results. Lastly, new students are required to obtain a physical form and submit it to us as part of their mandated paperwork. The physical form can be found in the instructional manual. This physical form that you see here is the only physical form that we accept here as part of ESU Intercollegiate Athletics. If your doctor is filling out any other physical form than this one, it will not be accepted to participate here at ESU. So please ensure that the physical you are obtaining is on this document you see here. Okay, so now we will go over all the paperwork requirements in the athlete medical portal. And please note that everything I am about to go over is due no later than July 15th, 2022. If submitted after this date, it could delay your athletic participation for the following semester. Okay, so as stated before, this instructional tutorial is for both new and returning student athletes and will have steps for both included. So new students should have received a temporary user ID and password from an athletic trainer with this instructional manual and steps on how to complete. Returning student athletes should have received an instructional manual, however, have already created a user ID and password from the previous year. For returning student athletes that forget their user ID or password, you are able to obtain that information by clicking this link here. The Need Help link will bring you to this page, and you will click Forgot Credentials. If you forgot your password, you stay with this tab here. If you forgot your user ID, you stay with this tab here and fill out the information to obtain it. If you forget both, it might be easier to reach out to Jamie or I to obtain your information on how to log in. By the way, this is Jess giving this tutorial. Okay, for new students, you're going to go to the login page and enter in the user ID and the password provided to you by the athletic trainer that emailed you. Once you enter in that information, you're going to log in. This is our two-factor authentication system that is set up for both new and returning student athletes. New student athletes will have to set it up at this time, and you're able to follow the steps in the tutorial packet to set it up for yourself. However, I have already had it set up, so you're going to be able to see how I enter in that information. So I have opted to send it the two-factor authentication code to my cell phone, and that is the easiest way, I believe, to have it set up, because it's just going to send me a text message with my code right away. I enter that into the system, press submit, and then it will log me in. So this is the main login page. This is what both new and returning student athletes should see whenever you log in. For the sake of being able to remember your user ID and password every year, I would recommend that you change your user ID to something that you can remember. This can be done by clicking this little person icon up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, and you're going to select Change User ID. Mine is already my first and last name, which is very easy for me to remember, and I do not want to change it. So I'm going to keep it as is. But if you do change your user ID, it's going to kick you out of the system and have you log back in. So make sure you remember your user ID that you just changed it to and your password that you also just made new as well. So at this point, once you log back into the system, you should have a new user ID and new password that you have created. At this time, you can check your address and your date of birth for correctness. If either of those things are incorrect, for instance, if you have moved to an off-campus location that is different from the previous year, you can change those now. You will select demographic changes and select either change birth date or change your address. After you are completed checking your demographics, you can go through these tabs below: Parent and Guardian tab and Contacts tab. Please ensure that we have an emergency contact on file for you should anything happen during your time here at ESU. You can add your parent or guardian details here, and then whoever you would like as an emergency contact here in the Contacts tab. If it is the same as your parent/guardian, please enter it again in this tab here. Now that we have ensured all your info is correct, we can go to the forms. So you can get to it one of two ways. You can click this hyperlink up here that says you have 8 forms to be filled, or you can click this over here to the left side of the screen that says Forms. So you will see that I have 8 forms here that need to be completed. However, you only need to complete 7 of them. As you can see, one is a new student athletes / transfers only form, and another one is returning student athletes only form. So the new student athletes are going to do from here up, and the returning student athletes are going to do this one minus the new students, but all the other forms. So each new student should complete 7 forms, and each returning student should complete 7 forms. Something to note that a lot of our athletes end up missing is on this mental health survey form. I'm going to open it here now for you. Please do not get in the habit of going through each form quickly, signing and dating it. Please read each form in its entirety. Something that is missed is this link here. As it states in bold above it, you must click on the link below and answer the questions related to your mental health. Once you complete the mental health questionnaire, please return this form and sign below. So this link must be clicked and brings you to this form here. As you will go through the questions, please note that the scale for the questions changes. For instance, sometimes a 3 means bad and sometimes a 3 means good. So please answer the questions and read them thoroughly. Lastly, on each of the forms, you're going to sign your name by typing it, and you're going to date it for the date that you are completing the form. Once all of your forms have moved to the completed list tab, you are finished. As stated before, the only form that you should have left if you are a new student is this returning student athlete form, and the only form left for returning students should be the new student athlete form. If that is the only form left in your pending list tab, you have completed the portal in its entirety. The next thing we are going to move to is called the Next Pick app. This application is downloaded via your mobile device. So on the App Store, you're going to type in Next Pick and download it. It's very simple. Once you have it downloaded, you're going to enter in the school name, your full name, and your school ID or your date of birth. Do not enter both, only enter one or the other. After you have done that, you're going to press continue, and it will bring you to this screen on the right. You are going to make sure that you have your most up-to-date health insurance card. You are required to take a picture of the front and back of your health insurance card. Please make sure that your card is stationary. You're not holding it while taking a picture of it. All of the wording on the card is able to be clearly read. The darkness or the lightness of the photo is able to be read by somebody else so that we're not pestering you to upload it again. So once you have attached a front of your health insurance card and a back of your health insurance card, you're going to press submit. Lastly is the Kong IQ app. This, why I'm mentioning at the end, is an alternative to doing the online portal and the Next Pick app. This is an app on your phone that combines both things. So if you would prefer, you could download the Kong IQ app. This is basically the Blue Ocean system via an app form. So you'll download the Kong IQ app. You will log in with your user ID and your password that was provided to you for Blue Ocean, and it will bring you to the screen or your dashboard that contains all of your medical forms. You can fill them out via this app, and you can upload your insurance info via this app. If you choose to do so, the steps are provided here, although I find it's more user or reader friendly to do the forms on a desktop or laptop computer because it has a lot of information included in those forms. Once you have gotten through all of that, you are completed. So here is the contact information for all the athletic trainers here at ESU. If you have anything that needs faxed, you can fax it to this number here. As stated, Colleen is out of the office starting June 3rd until July 31st. So please contact either Jamie or myself with any questions that you have. These are our individual sporting assignments if you have a specific question, but you can contact either Jamie or I at any time, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the summer whenever you return.